Let me also welcome everyone who joined. My name is Faustine Zoveda, and I work for the Forest and Landscape Restoration Mechanism of FAO. I am very pleased to be part of the organizing team of this online forum. As you may have understood by now, the online forum is composed of several building blocks. There is today's webinar, a facilitated email discussion, and also background materials to help you getting a deeper understanding of the topic. And as mentioned earlier by Catalina, the topic we're going to discuss today is monitoring of forest and landscape restoration. We will in particular focus on innovative and successful tools and approaches for monitoring restoration. And today we will try to answer two questions. The first one is what can be learned from tools for monitoring forest and landscape restoration, or FLR, that will be presented today. And the second question is where should our innovation efforts focus in order to support restoration monitoring. But before we start, I would like to remind you about the objectives and agenda of this online knowledge sharing forum. So the forum has four main objectives, and you see them on the left-hand side of your screen. First and foremost, we want to support you, practitioners, in developing your knowledge of innovative and successful tools and approaches for monitoring restoration. And we want to help you strengthening your capacities to implement these tools and approaches. The second, we want to use the opportunity of that very first online knowledge sharing forum to start connecting over the long run a community of practitioners with interest in restoration and to facilitate experience sharing among members. Our third objective is to encourage you to suggest tools, guidelines, case studies, or other material to populate the forest and landscape restoration knowledge base hosted by FAO. This knowledge base is freely accessible online and already includes a wide range of monitoring resources, and we will share with you the address so that you can access it. And finally, as FAO, WRI, but also other partners are currently developing restoration monitoring guidelines, we want to harvest your ideas to make these as relevant as possible to practitioners' needs. So today's webinar and our discussions shall allow to cover at least part of these ambitious objectives. We will spend an hour and a half together, and during that time we will be given the opportunity to listen to various experts, to ask them our questions, and exchange our experiences and points of view. 3 experts will talk today. Our first speaker is Bernadette Araquille from WRI, the World Resources Institute. Bernadette will share her experience with monitoring forest and landscape restoration in Rwanda with Collect Earth. And for those who don't know it yet, Collect Earth is a tool that was developed by FAO and partners and that enables data collection through Google Earth and analysis of high-resolution satellite imagery. Our second speaker is Alan Granger from the University of Leeds. Alan will share his knowledge on citizen observatories, which are community-based environmental monitoring and information systems embedded in portable or mobile personal devices. This means that citizens can help and be engaged in observing our environment. And last but not least, our third speaker is Rakan Zahawi. Rakan Zahawi is director at the Lyon Arboretum, a research unit of the University of Hawaii. He will tell us more about his experience using lightweight unmanned aerial vehicles, or drones, to monitor tropical forest recovery. After each presentation, we will have a few minutes to address some burning questions to the speaker. After the 3 presentations, Maria and I will facilitate a 20-minute discussion. We will then keep some time aside to summarize next steps and contents before closing the webinar. I hope this is all clear, and let me now hand over to Maria, who would like to share with you some key insights from your registration forms and give you an opportunity to introduce yourself. Sorry.
Thank you, Faustine. So altogether, we were in the end more or less 425 participants who have been inspired and interested in joining this online knowledge sharing forum. Um, just to let you know, we would like you to now introduce yourself so we know who is in the room now. Just to let you know also that the session is almost full. So if you have an opportunity to join a colleague in the same office and close this session to liberate one seat, please do so. Or especially if you are here in the headquarters, we have the FAO Forestry meeting room available for following this session. So first of all, if you could tell us on the poll number 1, in where are you calling from today, what region of the world you reside, and I'll be looking into the results. Then we go, if you want to set your own learning objective or expectation just below the poll number 1. For example, if you consider the focus of the webinar, the innovative approaches, and your learning objective or expectation can be written in this box. That's also our just to practice the tools what we have here. And then if we go to the central part, what is your main interest towards forest and landscape restoration? You can, if you want to update your knowledge, as most of us, most of the people who have voted so far, if you want to share your experience, maybe you have a lot of experience on FLR monitoring already. And then at the lower poll, in which level do you monitor FLR impact? Are you more in the field and project level, or national, regional, or global level? Maybe you're doing it in several levels, the option number E on the lower right-hand corner poll. This is just to get a feel who is in the room. And if you, we would also like to welcome your introductions in the technical support chat, as we already have many people joining from Argentina, Vietnam, Switzerland, Lebanon, Puerto Rico. Excellent. It's really nice to see so many people online. So I just give you a couple of minutes now to chip in and tell us where you're calling from today. This is also to adapt the messages and the questions that we'll be taking up during the question and answers and panel discussion that Faustine nicely presented just a moment ago. We want just to leave enough time for the discussions. We won't be taking very long at this part. Just to, you can write something briefly and make sure that you have voted in the polls. And if you have any materials to share during the discussion, feel free to use the question chat. It will appear on the question and answers part to the left-hand side of the screen, a bit similar to your learning objective or expectation. So what we have here now, so many of you are looking to learn about approaches, learn about tools, such in a similar way that we got through the enrollment form. So just to let you know, about 60% of the participants have some experience in FLR monitoring of different levels and different points. Many of you were interested in social aspects of monitoring. Today we'll be focusing a little bit more on the technology side of innovative approaches, but we'll have surely an opportunity to discuss more the social innovation and stakeholder involvement as well. Now I see many of you are still typing, but I would like to encourage you to keep your sentence short and just press the enter button. Will get your learning objective or expectation recorded here, and this will help us to then focus our inputs, and speakers can already have a quick look on this lower left-hand corner. What are the expectations? Many are thinking of technology aspects. Learning seems to be really the objective for today, and that's of course great.